Your income isn't what determines if you're broke. It's what you do with your income. The majority of young Americans making $100,000 a year salaries are broke, and a third of Americans making $250,000 a year salaries are also flat broke. That's why the first of 7 things that you have to fix if you don't want to stay broke is your spending. Because if you're spending all your money, you'll never have a chance to ever become wealthy. The majority of Americans live in what I call net zero thinking, which means when you make $1,000 and you see this $1,000 in your bank account, you feel that sudden need to spend that $1,000. And so now what do? You go to the store, you go buy some Gucci, you buy some Apple, you go to Amazon, you go to Kroger, you go to Walmart, but you spend all of this money. And this is where most people assume that if you have $1,000, you can afford a $1,000 vacation. Or if you have $100, you can afford a $100 pair of shoes. And this is where I want you to understand that just because you can buy something does not mean that you can afford it. The first thing that you have to do if you ever want to have a shot to ever become wealthy is you cannot, hear me, you cannot spend all of your money. Because when you spend all of your money, you have no money left over which you can use to make you wealthy. You have no money to invest into other assets. You have no money to save to protect you against an emergency. You have no money to save just in case you need some extra cash. This is where now the first thing you have to do is stop spending all of your money. The second thing that you have to fix is trusting the banks. In this economic system, the reality is the broker you are, the richer somebody else is, because the more money you spend, the more money somebody else makes. And in this economic system, if you make $1,000, that means you can spend more than $1,000. Because yeah, you got $1,000 in the bank, but then you also got the bank who's willing to loan you money with a credit card, a line of credit, or something else, where now the bank will also give you an extra $1,000 or $10,000. And this is where now what you don't want to do is go out and buy something for $5,000 when you only have $1,000. And this is where you need to stop spending on your credit card unless you're going to pay off the entire credit card balance completely. I only use a credit card because I never buy something just because I get the credit card points to the credit card rewards. The credit card perks and the rewards and the cashback and everything else is just a bonus for me buying the things that I would normally buy with my credit card instead of with a debit card or instead of with cash. If you get a credit card because you think, oh my God, I'm going to get cash back, or I get fraud protection, or I get something else, and then you go into debt to finance that thing, now you're the one that's paying for everybody else's fraud protection. You're the one that's paying for everybody else's cash back. And right now in America, about half of Americans who have a credit card have credit card debt. Meaning 1 out of 2 people with a credit card, which is pretty much every American, don't know how to use their credit card. And now they're overspending on their credit card and they're paying for everybody else's perks, everybody else's rewards, everybody else's cash back. And now this is where you can no longer continue spending this money on your credit card because your credit card debt is skinning you alive financially. And now we have to go back to the spending. Yeah, you should not be spending the $1,000 you have in your bank account. And then on top of that, you should not be spending the $10,000 or the $1,000 that your credit card is giving you. Now we gotta live a little bit smaller, live within your means, that we have extra money to save, extra money to invest, and then you don't touch that credit card debt. If you use a credit card, fine. Just make sure you can always pay off the entire balance each and every month, and you never miss a payment, and you never have to pay a penny in interest. If you're paying interest on your credit card, you're using your credit card the wrong way, and you need to get rid of a credit card as fast as possible. Now, once you learn how to use your credit card, then you can consider it, but you should never, ever, ever pay interest on your credit card ever. The third thing you have to fix is your investments. And this is where people get very technical. They want to make the perfect investment. They want to have the right stock. They want to have the best expense ratio. They want to have the best money manager. They want to have the best index fund. They want to have the best ETF. But do you want to know the biggest mistake that people make when it comes to investing their money? They don't invest their money. Right now in America, about half of Americans have no investments, not even a penny invested at all. And this is where you got to understand you can make mistakes and still make money. But the only way you can do that is by actually investing your money. Now, understand, investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will probably lose money at some point, which is why you need to always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. But now, in order for you to actually make money with your investments, you have to learn. And if you want to learn, you got to do. And if you want to do, you got to lose. but that's the process if you want to actually make money. This is where now you have to spend less than all the money that you earn and put some money aside towards your investments. Now, I'm not going to do a full deep dive analysis of how to invest your money because there's a lot of different places that you can invest. You can invest in things like stocks or real estate or other businesses or your own business or even your own education. And then you have other strategies on how you can invest. You can invest for cash flow like dividends or passive income, which is what some people like to call it. You can invest for appreciation. Now, if you want to learn more, I have a free ebook on how you can start investing, particularly for cash flow, which goes over how you can start investing, different ways that you can invest, and it walks you through different investing education strategies. This ebook is completely free. So if you want to read this ebook on how to start investing, I'll put the link to how you can download this ebook through Market Insiders down in the description below. A simple rule of thumb that you can consider following is something like a 75-15-10 plan, which says that from now on, for every dollar that you earn, 75 cents is the maximum that you can spend. If you got $1,000, $750 is the max you can spend. 15 cents of every dollar that you earn is the minimum that you're investing. In this instance, that means you're investing a minimum of $150, and 10 cents out of that dollar is the minimum that you're saving. In this instance, you got to save at least $100. Now, when you follow a plan like this, you will always have money that you can spend on your nice things. You'll have less money to spend on nice things because now some of that money will always be invested and some of that money will always be saved. But now at least you'll be paying yourself first. And by paying yourself, I don't mean by getting yourself a new Gucci belt. I mean paying yourself by actually building your wealth first. Now, you always have money going aside to make you wealthier because your investments are what's going to make you wealthy. Not your Gucci, not your BMW, not the big house that you live in, not the vacations, not the restaurants, your investments. That's what determines how wealthy somebody will become. The person who becomes more wealthy is not the person with the bigger salary, it's not the person with the nicer car, it's not the person with the more vacations, it's the person with more investments. And when you have more investments and you continue to build this wealth, you can have all the nicer stuff without worrying about the price because you built your investments first. Most people only want the nice stuff and then they struggle their whole lives trying to pay off this stuff. But if you work to build your wealth first, your wealth can pay for all your stuff and you don't have to worry about the money. The fourth thing that you have to fix if you don't want to be broke is your attitude, because most people have a very negative or angry or don't care attitude about money. I grew up in a house where money was very taboo. You don't talk about money, you don't think about money, you don't worry about money. But at the same time, I saw how hard my parents are working all the time. They were going to work every single day to get paid, but then they told me not to worry about money. And then they told me that I needed to become a doctor. That way I could be successful. That way I didn't have to worry about money. Just didn't make sense to me. So now, if you want to not be broke anymore, you got to change your attitude about money and understand money plays an important part of our life. Period. There's a lot of people out there crying and complaining and saying that money doesn't matter. You shouldn't worry about money. Money's bad. Money's evil. Listen, money is just paper. It doesn't have emotion. How can money be evil? It doesn't have an emotion. It's not doing anything. If you choose to buy it, you choose to buy it. It doesn't do anything. Money is just paper. It gives you freedom. It gives you opportunities. It gives you the ability to take better care of yourself, your family, and your community. And if you don't have money, well, then you're going to be stressing pretty hard about money because now you don't got the money to pay your bills. You don't got the money to send your kids to college. You don't got the money to send your parents on the nice vacation. You don't got the money to take your spouse on the nice vacation. And this is where understanding how money plays a part in your life is so much more important than putting up this smoke screen on this topic of money and building an attitude of, instead of hating money and hating people who have money, but rather now understanding money and then attracting that money yourself. Because if you want to attract money, you're not going to get it by hating it. You got to get it by now understanding it, learning it, appreciating it, and then going after it. You don't got to be consumed by money and become this money-hungry, greedy person. But you got to understand it and respect it and then go out and actually gather it. That way you can take money and get the freedom that the money has to offer. Number 5, you have to fix your earning ability. This doesn't mean what you're earning your money from or how you're earning your money, but you have to change your earning ability. This means now investing in your own financial education, because now in this system, the more money you make, the more money you invest, the more money you save, but also the more money that you get to spend. And this is where now having more money can really benefit you because you have a system for your money. For the average person, when you make more money, you just buy more nice things and then you dig yourself into a deeper hole. But now when you understand this financial education, now when you make more money, you have more investments, you have more savings, and you can have more nice things. But the question is, how can you earn more money? And one way is by working harder at your job, or by getting a raise, or by getting a promotion, or getting a different career. But I want you to also invest in your earning ability. And now in this economic system and in this day and age, you can do that by learning. That means reading books about how to earn more money. Read books about how to start a business. Read books about how to advance in your career. Read books about how to get a better career. If you don't want to read books, you can start watching YouTube videos. Then you can start taking classes. There are so many classes out there that can help you learn more about how to do something. Maybe you're a video editor. You can learn about how to start a video editing business or how to be a better video editor. If you are a writer, you can learn how to be a better copywriter and how to present yourself to businesses and start your own copywriting business. If you're a digital marketer, same thing. And this is where now learning how to improve your skill, how to improve your talent. That way you can provide more value to the world and earn more money, can allow you to amplify your funnel, but you have to invest in that. That means now actually putting your time into it and then investing your money to learn how to be better at it. Most people hate the idea of investing money to learn how to do something. But this is where if you want to actually get better and you want to learn from somebody who's good, you got to pay for that exposure, pay for that knowledge. That way then you can learn. If you don't have the money, don't go into debt to do that. If you don't have the money, start using the free resources that are out there. Then learn and grow, attract more money, and then start investing in your financial education. You got to crawl before you can walk, and you got to walk before you can run. And if you just start throwing money into things that aren't making you a return, well, now you can see where that's going to lead you. But this is where now you need to be using your money smartly. That way you can also earn more money. The sixth thing that you have to fix is your mindset. See, most people have this mindset where most people would rather see you fail than to see themselves succeed. And this is where now you have to understand that if you want to succeed, you can't do it trying to appease others. You got to do it for yourself. And then you got to understand that the opportunities are all around you. The reality is the Federal Reserve Bank is printing trillions and trillions of dollars. There's a lot of money out there. All you need to do is figure out how you can get a little piece of that money. And it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter who your parents are, it doesn't matter what your degree is. If you live in a first world country, you are blessed and you have that opportunity. You just got to figure out what's the right way for you to now go out and actually get that money. But in order for you to actually get that money, you got to believe that it's possible for you, and that means you have to have the right mindset to believe that it's possible for you. Most people, the average American, has a limited scarcity mindset where they're so focused on what other people are doing, and they're so focused on seeing other people not succeed, and they're so focused on thinking what other people are earning rather than earning from themselves. And this is where what I want you to do is understand there's a lot of money in the world. You can win and I can win. Everybody can win, but you have to believe that you can win too. Now, I'm not saying go out and try to hurt other people, but you got to understand that you can win. And in order for you to win, you got to believe that it's possible and understand that there's a lot of opportunity out there. There's an abundance of money. There's an abundance of happiness. There's an abundance of success. You being happy doesn't stop me from being happy. You can be happy and I can be happy. Just like that, you can be successful and I can also be successful. When you understand that, you're going to start looking at money, the game, and business very differently. And now when you understand that and you really realize that, you can start to change your mindset and understand there's an abundance. There's a lot of money out there. All you got to do is get your little piece of it. And that doesn't mean somebody else can't be successful. That means now you got to focus on you being successful. And it's hard because a lot of people out there will start to see you become successful and get jealous or upset, and then they won't want to see you become successful. But you just got to focus on you. Focus on attracting your financial education, focus on building your financial success, and continue spreading the happiness and spreading the financial education. And the seventh thing that you need to fix if you don't want to be broke is tracking your money. Now, most people start doing this when it's too late, and this is where I want you to be proactive and start looking at your money. And what I want you to do is take a piece of paper, use an Excel sheet, use a Google sheet, it does not matter. And on the top, I want you to write last month's income. Right, all of your different sources of income, your job, your spouse's job, your investments, your business, whatever your sources of income were, write them all out line by line here. Then I want you to write all of your expenses. What were your food costs? What were your entertainment costs? What were your travel costs? What were your housing costs? Write each one. Go through your debit card, your credit card, your bank statements. Write down every single expense. Then that should leave you with a number. If you have a negative number, you can already see you're spending way more money than what you're bringing in. If you have a positive number, then write, what did you do with my money? Did you save it? Did you invest it? Did you give it to charity? Did you do something else with it? Write this down. Now when you do this, you can start tracking your money. Just do it once a month. Every month, at the end of the month or beginning of the month, Write down the last month's income and expenses and what you do with the money. And I can guarantee you, this is why I don't really say anything else you got to do. As soon as you see this, you're going to start making changes. Because when you see where your expenses and where your money is going, and you see how much money is coming in, you will immediately want to change to make it better. Because now you can actually see it. And now when you have to give yourself this report card at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, you're going to want to make it better the next month. And so just start tracking what your money is. In business, what they say is if you can't track it, you can't optimize it. It's the exact same thing with your money. If you don't know where your money is going, how can you improve what you're doing with your money? And this is where now you got to take a look at what's going on with your money. That way you can take better care of your money and your finances. Credit card debt is one of the most expensive kinds of debts out there, which is why if you don't treat your credit card debt properly, it can skin you alive financially. And this is why you have so many industries and so many people trying to sell you services to consolidate or relieve you of your credit card debt because they know how expensive it is. My goal in this video